Alright crew, welcome back to another release event guide taking place for August 21st, September 13th. And before we get started with this guide, I wanted to show y'all my credentials. These past 4 pre-releases I managed to win at least one. What is a release event? And I want to give a big disclaimer that even though you're successful on the app, please make sure to call and check the shop social media to confirm your spot. There's a lot of controversy right now that shops locals have not been successful for these events, so shops are trying to combat that a little bit by taking out players that don't normally go and add their locals in. So before you go up there, please confirm, because it would be very unfortunate for you to show up and just for your spot to be given away to somebody else. Now, what is a release event? It's an event where you can test out the newest set of cards early, August 21st through December 13th, as we said. You win a promo pack, get 6 packs of OP17, and the winner will get a prize card, usually first and second, but if it's a big release event, usually the top 4, top 6 will get a winner as well. For OP17, these are the mangas. We have a Nuki, we have a Shanks, Kaido, and Linlin. And if you're lucky, you might pull a manga in your pre-release. Here I have the homie Griffin and Acid. Shout out to them that they were able to pull a manga in their pre-release, as have I in the past. So hopefully you're lucky enough to pull one. Here's the participation pricing. We're given a 4th anniversary release event pack that has the stamp version, 4th anniversary Luffy leader, and a 4th anniversary Luffy promo card. These event packs have a stamp that says release event, which in this case might say 4th anniversary. And the big difference between the stamp version and non-stamp version is the price. Stamp version of a card can go up for 10, 15, maybe $20+ a card. And the winner is the Elbaf Luffy release event winner. Now, this is where you're going to need to win. You need to buy 6 packs of OP17, and the price range is anywhere between 35 to 45. If it's anything more than that, you might want to check around other spots because that's asking a little bit too much. You need 10 Don, and more importantly, you need your sleeves, because if you pull something good, you need to protect your cards. How to win is you need to pick a leader, make a 40 card deck, no color restrictions. You could use 4+ copies of a card. Now, something that's very important to note is that in between rounds you can sideboard cards, meaning from one round to the next, if there's a certain card you didn't like or that you managed to pull you didn't think was good, now you could go ahead and swap it out. For these events, if you're able to pick your own leader, the best leader for these events would be Sanji, because it gives anything that's 8 costs or less that does not have an on-play rush. However, this guide's meant more for the Rainbow Luffys, because you're given it in the participation pack. You're able to play this Rainbow Luffy. In my opinion, has to be the most balanced way to play the game, because now you're able to combo off cards that are leader locked, and it works very well with this Luffy. Shout out to View Theory for this formula, because this is the formula that I've been using for every release event. It's 10 2K counter cards, 10 blockers, 10 vanillas, 5 removal card draws, 5 boss characters. I would highly recommend take a screenshot of this whenever it comes to your ratios of building a deck. For this set, there's 22 2Ks, 14 blockers, 0 vanillas, a lot of removal, a lot of card draw, and a lot of boss characters. Now let's talk about the 2Ks. These are all the 2Ks. You see a 2K, you add it in. To take note that there really isn't a crazy 2K. They're just pretty much generically just used as a 2K. The only one I can think of besides Hongo, because it's a blocker, on play setup to one of your Dawn cards is active, then rest 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. Now it can rest up 2 weenie blockers if your opponent manages to see them, but you're pretty much going to use it just as a 2K, worst case scenario, a blocker. If you need it, it's a blocker. These 6 7s and 7 8 vanilla 2Ks are pretty good. I would probably prioritize having these as 2Ks if you manage to pull a lot of these and the Hongos. Next up, let's talk about the blockers. Here, blockers, if you see them, you auto include them into your deck. Any blocker you add is going to be important to protect your board, to protect your life, as long as they say blocker, because there's a lot of situational blockers. I don't like using situational blockers. As long as it says blocker in the text, add them to your deck. The only blocker that I could think of that's pretty crazy would be the Aramaki, King, and Kaido. Because Aramaki is on play, draw 1 card, Dawn -1, KO to 2 of your opponent's character with a cost of 2 or less, so it can pop weenies, and it's a blocker. King is a 9/10 blocker. On opponent's attack, once per turn, you can trash a card, and up to your leader or character gains 2k power for the battle. So if you have a 1k in your hand, you can now be, or brick, it can now be a 2k. This Kaido is pretty good as well. It's a blocker, it's a 10/12, so when you play it next turn, you can pretty much protect anything on your board the following turn. Your turn once per turn. When a Dawn card on your field is returned on your Dawn deck, add up to 1 card is active, and set 1 of your Dawn cards is active. The Gloriosa is pretty good as well. It's a 4/1 blocker, does not have counter. On play, place up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. Kaido, another 4/6 blocker with no counter. You may reveal 3 type cards, including Rock Pirates. That part's not important. It's a 4/6. Good stat to play on curve. No counter, so incentivized to play it right away, so it's not stuck in your hand. Next up here we have Wang Zi. It's a 4/6 blocker. On play, you can trash 1 card from your hand. Place all your opponent's character with a base cost of 1 to the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. That part's probably not going to be important, but it's a 4/6 blocker. We already discussed Hongo, that can rest 2 of your opponent's 2-cost characters and set up 1 of your Dawn cards is active. Here, this Bunk Punch and Monster is pretty good. It's a 4/3. On play, KO 1 of your opponent's rested character with a cost of 6 or less. Prerelease over here is a blocker. Trigger, rest up 1 of your opponent's 6 costs. Yamato, I think, is pretty good. It's a 3-cost blocker. On play, you ramp a Dawn. We have the weenie blockers here. We have Blenheim. The on KO is not really relevant. Just it's being a weenie blocker. That's what matters. Black Maria is same as it's a weenie blocker, but it has the ability that on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can trash 1 card from your hand, or to 1 of your leader or character cards gains 1k power for the battle. So yeah, as long as you see a blocker, you add it to your deck. Next up we have Vanillas. Now, Vanillas are characters with no abilities and have a 1k counter. These are auto-include into your deck. However, as of right now, this set does not have any Vanillas. So what do I mean by that? How we discussed here, like this Kaido. This Kaido is a 4/6. If it would have had a 1k counter, it would be considered a vanilla statted card. But if it had the 1k, it would be overly statted because it's a blocker, has an on play. This is where the trying to balance the card comes in, so it doesn't have a counter. Next up, let's talk about the flavor Vanillas. These are characters that have vanilla stat lines but don't have a counter. It has an ability to make up for not having a counter. So for this set, we have about 22 cards that are flavored, what I call flavored vanillas. Like this Stussy is a 3/5. On play, you stop a 6 cost from attacking next turn, and you could rest this card and rest 3 Dawn, and you're stunning another card with no cost restriction. So you pretty much stun 2 things late game with this card. Really good. Atmos is a 4/6. Opponent's turn, his character gains 3k power. That's pretty good, especially if you're going second. If you could play this, swing with it, it's going to be a 9k, so it's pretty annoying to deal with. Izo, I think, is a really good removal card because it's a 4/6, but on play, if your leader is Edward Newgate, which Luffy Rainbow is, give 1 of your opponent's rested characters minus 6k power for the turn. So what makes that pretty good is you're pretty much able to swing with this card as well because it has rush character, so you can reduce the power off of that card that you want to swing into with this Izo, and you get maximum value out of it. We already discussed. Kaido we already discussed. Captain John's a 4/6. If your leader includes Rock Pirates, which Luffy is, and this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack any other card other than Captain John. Activate main, you may rest this character, draw 1, trash 1 from your hand. On play, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Elbaf type card and add it to your hand, then trash the rest. I'm not a big fan of trashing and sealed, especially if there's no way for you to get certain pieces that you need, because it would suck if you happen to trash your boss characters. Gangzui, it's a 5/7. If this character will be removed from the field, you may trash 2 cards from your hand instead. On play, your leader base power becomes 6k until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So the thing with Flavor Vanilla is you want to make sure to play these cards instead of cards that have counter. That way you can use the cards from counter to protect yourself or your board. Lilin is an amazing card. It's a 5/7. On play, your opponent chooses one. You either draw 2 or your opponent trashes 2 cards from their hand. On your opponent's attack once per turn, you can trash 1 card from your hand. And up to your leader, one of your character gains 1,000 power for the battle. So you could ditch a brick and it becomes counter. Barbell, it's a 5/7. On KO, your opponent places 2 cards from their hand at the bottom of the deck in any order. Activate main once per turn. You can trash 1 card from your hand. This character gains 3k power during this turn. So this essentially is a 5/10. Next up we have Jozu. On play, your Edward Newgate leader, which is Rainbow Luffy. The base power becomes 8k until the end of your opponent's next end phase. I would recommend saving this Jozu late game when your opponent tries to go for lethal, because you play and you become an 8k, makes the lethal math a little bit more complex for your opponent. Next up we have Newgate. It's a 6/8. On play, draw 1 card once per turn. When your leader with a type including Rocks Pirates attacks or is attacked, you can trash 1 card from your hand to activate the effect, which your leader now gains 3k power during the battle. So you can ditch a brick and it's pretty much now you have 3k counter. We have Loki is a 6/8. This character gains 12 costs and gains 3k power on your opponent's turn. But the on play is KO any number of opponent's characters with a total cost of 4 or less. So you can pretty much just pop a 4 or 2 2s or a 1 and a 3, but more likely it's going to be a 4 cost. Ben Beckman's a 7/9. Rush character. On play, if your leader has the red-haired pirates, which Luffy does, you draw 1 card and rest 2 of your opponent's characters. We have Shiki, 7/9. When attacking, on opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card that includes Rock Pirates from your hand and give one of your opponent's characters minus 3k power during the turn. Next up we have Lead Performance is a 9/11. On play, Dawn -1. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Activate main, you can trash this character, play up to 1 king, queen, or jack from your hand. Next up we have Newgate. It's a 10/12. If your opponent has a character with 10k power or more, give this character in your hand minus 4 cost. 10/12 Rush. On place, up to 2 of your Dawn cards is active, then rest all your opponent's characters. Kaido is, we already discussed Kaido, it's a blocker, and if you return Dawn, you gain 1 active and stand 1 active. Next up we have Kaido. It's a 10/12. All character cards in your hand without a counter have a 1k counter. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -1. If this character was played during this turn, negate the effect up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less during this turn, and we KO it. Next up we have Lilin, a 10/12. Your turn, the base power of all your characters with a trigger and 4k base power becomes 8k. It's not going to be pretty relevant, but the on play is draw 1, then choose 1. You heal a life or your opponent loses a life. Lastly, we have 10/12 Roxy Sebek. If you only have a character without a counter, this card in your hand is a 2k counter. On play, draw 1 and play up to 2 Rocks Pirate type cards with a different card names and a total cost of 9 or less from your hand. Next up we have removal. For removal, we have an event called Rocks Pirates. You can rest 5 of your Dawn cards, return up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less to the owner's hand. So you're pretty much bouncing. We have another event with draw now and allow me to save face. It's a 1 cost main. You may rest 6 of your Dawn cards. Rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters, then KO up to 2 of your opponent's rested character with a cost of 6 or less. It's pretty much a gravity blade for green. We have Gum Gum Kong Pistol. It's a 1 cost. You may rest 6. If there is a character with a cost of 12 or more, KO up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. Mazer Saber is a 1 cost event. It's a 3k counter, but the trigger is your opponent may trash 3 cards from their hand, and if they don't, you get to KO a 6 cost or less. So it's either you trash 3 cards or I get to pop a 6 from your board. Easel we already discussed. It's a rush character, gives a character on your opponent's side -6, so easy to get rid of. We have Building Snake. It's a 4/5. On KO, KO 1 of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 6 or less. Activate main once per turn. Give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your Shanks leader, which Rainbow Luffy is. I think this card's going to be pretty good going second, just because you're able to be working with an extra Dawn every turn. And if you can sequence it properly, you get to get rid of a 6 cost from your opponent's side. Bonk Punch and Monster, we discussed that on play. You get to KO a 6 rested character. Blamanco, it's a 5/6 1k counter, but with 2 Dawn attached. When attacking, give one of your opponent's characters minus 4k power for the turn. Barbell, we discussed that it's powers up to become a 10k, so pretty good into swinging into something on the board. This new gate is a 6/6. If your opponent has a character with 10k power or more, give this card in your hand minus 2 cost. So essentially it could be a 4/6 vanilla static card. On play, if your leader is Edward Newgate, which Rainbow Luffy is, give up to one of your opponent's rested characters minus 6,000 power during the turn. We have Katakuri, that's a 6/4. Your turn on play, if your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, which Rainbow Luffy does, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3k power during the turn. So you heal a life, minus 3 to something on the board. Loki pops a 4 cost. Shiki, we already said, it's a rush character. When attacking once per turn, gets to give something on your opponent's side minus 3 for the turn. Next up we have Jack. It's a 9/10 rush character. On play, down -1. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, one of your opponent's characters minus 2k power for the turn. Next up we have Kaido. Activate once per turn, down -1. If your character was played during this turn, negate the opponent character and KO it. Next up, let's talk about card draw. As of right now, we have about 14 cards that do card draw. We have Kyo, on play, draw a card. It's a 2/4. Sanji, on play, draw 2, trash 2. We have Charlotte Puddin, it's a 3/4. On play, you can trash 1 card with trigger and you draw 3 cards. Captain John, you get to activate the main restless character, draw 1 and trash 1. Yes, up on play, you draw a card, rest up on one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. End of your turn, you get to restand a red-haired pirate type card. Short Linlin, you have the option that your opponent lets you draw 2 or they trash 2. Newgate on play is draw 1 card. The 3 Sweet Commanders, your turn on play, you get to rest 2 of your Dawn cards. It's a 6 cost, but if you rest 2 more, that's an 8/4. Draw 1 card and add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. Then give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 3k power during the turn. Next up is Ben Beckman. It's a rush character. On play, if your leader has the red-haired pirates type, draw 1 card, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters. Aramaki, same thing, Dawn -1, draw a card. Monkey D. Luffy, on play, draw 1 card, and then you get to play out something from your trash that's a 2 cost or less. We have Queen, 9/10, banish. On play, Dawn -1, draw 1 card. Then up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next end phase. That's a really good MVP card right there. Linlin, on play, you draw a card, you heal a life, your opponent loses a life. Rocks, on play, you draw a card and you get to play out 2 bodies. Now let's talk about hitters and fillers. These are characters that are strong enough to hit leader without Dawn investments, decent great abilities, and they're just filler cards to complete the 40 card deck. This is what I mean by hitters and fillers. We have Haruta, that's a 4/5 1k counter. On opponent's turn, this character gains 3k power. So after you swing with it, it becomes an 8k. Your opponent can't really interact with that the following turn after you swing with it. On play, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 2k base power or less, so you can pop a weenie. For 5 building stick, we discussed that if you can sequence it right, you get to KO a 6 cost or less, and every turn, activate main, you get to give a rested Dawn to your leader. Next up, we have Luffy, that's a 4/5 1k counter. On play, you may rest one of your Dawn cards. This character gains rush during the turn, so it could be a 5/5 rusher. Activate once per turn. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, set up to one of your Dawn cards is active. Next up, we have Lucky Roo. On play, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card including Red Hair Pirates, add to your hand, and place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. On your opponent's attack, you may trash this character, rest one of your opponent's leader or characters. Flamenco, we'll discuss, it's a 5/6 that can give one of your opponent's characters minus 4k when it has 2 Dawn attached. We have a Marco, that's a 5/6. If one of your characters would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you can KO this character instead. On KO, you may trash 1 card with a type including Whitebeard Pirates from your hand. Play this character card from your trash. Yes, we were discussed. It's draw 1 and rest in 8 costs, and at the end of the turn, you get to restand a red hair pirate. We have Rockstar, that's a 5/6. Activate main. If your opponent's leader has 6k power or more, set up to one of your Dawn cards is active, then your red hair pirates type leader, which Luffy is, The base power becomes 6k until your opponent's next end phase. Lastly, we have Caribou. It's a 5/6. 1k counter, activate main once per turn. You can add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 3k power for the turn. Very situational if you want to lose a life to try to get rid of something on the board, and if you're being starved as well, that can really help out. Trigger, you may trash 1 card from your hand. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, so it gets the pop of 5 cost. Now let's discuss the MVP and game winners. These are cards that can long-term help you win, cards that can help you go for game. In my opinion, these have to be the MVP cards for this release event. We have Atmos, Ezo, Bunk Punch, Gloriosa, Charlotte Lilin, Jozu, Newgate, Odin we haven't discussed. It's a 7/8 on play if your leader is over Newgate or has the Land of Wano. Play up to 1 character with a cost including Land of Wano or Whitebeard pirate type with 6k power from your hand. So on your 7 Dawn, if you're going first, you can play down Odin to play out Ezo or to play out Atmos because of Odin ability. Next up we have Ben Beckman, just because it's a character rush and you can rest 2 of your opponent's characters and swing into it. Shiki, same thing. You get to play it out, ditch a card, and then pretty much swing tall into something on your opponent's side. Aramaki, 7/8 blocker, just being able to draw a card to go neutral on it. Next up we have lead performers. It's a 9/11 on play Dawn -1. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirates type, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. So you're pretty much healing a life if you're able to go first and play this card on your 9 Dawn turn. We have King, that's a 9/10 blocker. On opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your leader or character gains 2k power for the battle. Queen, like I said before, really good MVP card. It's a 9/10 with banish, so your opponent either has to block, take, and if they take, that card goes straight to the trash. But being able that on play, you Dawn minus, you draw a card. But not only that, you get to stop 2 possible attacks. Really good for the tempo. And we have Jax, that's a 9/10 character rush, swing into something on the board and give it -2. Then we got the SRs, the big boy SRs. All the 10/12s have really good stats and really good abilities, so these are definite MVP and game winners right here. And the Newgate, the Shanks, the 2 Kaidos, and the Linlin, these are all really good cards for seal. Now let's talk strategy. First or second. After building your deck, take note of your odd and even cost cards. If you see more odd cost cards, you go first. If you see more even, you go second. Now keep in mind, there's no vanillas, meaning there's going to be more fillers and hitters coming down, which you're going to see more the 4/5s, the 6/7s, or possibly just more bricks being played out. So make sure to play the biggest body you can with no counter each turn first to save the counter in your hand. And more than anything, do not go to 0 life because you can lose to unblockable. There's cards like this. There's these 3 cards in the set. Activate main. You may rest 1 of your Dawn cards up to 1 of your Rock. These the bag gains unblockable during the turn. So you can swing unblockable with your Rainbow Luffy with this card. 2020 Chopper. Conditional. There's a character with 12 costs or more. Up to 1 of your character gains unblockable during the turn. This event is a 1 cost event. Activate main. Your Charlotte Lilin leader, which Luffy is, gains unblockable during the turn. So because of these 3 cards, if you were to go to 0 life and you have blockers up thinking you're protected, well, think again. Because now you have 3 ways that an opponent can swing unblockable at you, so don't go to 0 life. Also, really good strategy is take the first 1 to 2 life so you can use the cards from your life to protect your board or life later. There's a lot of 2k, so swing base numbers. These are attacks that don't require Dawn, but if you're gonna swing with Dawn, try to match the attack 2k more than what you're swinging into. So you're swinging into a 5, swing for 7, 9, 11s. Swinging at 6s, swing 8, 10, 12s, like that. Another thing, don't use more than 2 cards to protect your life or your board, unless you need the character to go for a game or you know that you can get rid of your opponent's characters next turn, or it's your biggest attacker on your board. Try to save your MVP cards when trying to go for a game or stall another turn. Lastly, let's have fun. If you're able to get into this release event, even though it may not be your locals and you're going somewhere new, hope you have fun, hope you make new friends, pull great, and are able to have fun. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Until next time.